The best thing about being seen as the nicest guy in Hollywood is that no one searches my backyard for bodies.
Hanks.
Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. Tom Hanks, folks, is a pedophile. I'm sorry if this is the kind of bursting your bubble. All this information is new.
I, Henry, 471, and Cindy, 666.
So, Cindy, what else do you do?
Worship the devil.
I'm sorry. You belong to a choral group and what?
I worship Satan. You know, Beelzebub, Prince of Darkness. I can't wait for Henry to meet him.
What the hell did she say? Correct me if I'm wrong. You're a daughter of Satan.
10 years now.
Oh, she's kidding.
Sure, you're shocked now, but believe me, in time, you'll see it my way. Now, come on. Let's bring him here right now. Everybody put your hands together.
Hey, guys, I'm really stressed out right now. It's been coming to my attention that a lot of Trump supporters have been figuring out the truth about me and my family, you know, being in the, you know what I'm talking about? And I don't know what to do right now because everything's starting to come to light. I mean, these extremely reliable websites like 4chan, 8chan have been exposing shit. And it's like if somebody wrote it on the internet, you know it must be true. And it is true. So it's like, I don't know how this is going to affect our whole New World agenda. Ever since The Simpsons predicted my dad being the spokesperson for the coronavirus, even though they didn't predict anything, it's been troublesome, to say the least. I guess I'm just going to have to work extra hard at my human sacrifices. I'm late for one right now, and I'm a little hungry, so I might eat someone's pineal gland on the way. But just know that we're watching you, and if you're talking shit on the internet, you're going to be the first people sent to the FEMA camps. So,
As your attorney, I advise you to take a hit out of the little brown bottle in my shaving kit. You won't need much. Just a tiny taste.
Ah, there it is. What is this shit?
That stuff makes pure mescaline seem like ginger beer, man.
Ginger beer?
Adrenocromo.
Adrenocromo?
Adrenocromo. A substance extracted from a living human body. But could such a drug be real? According to numerous independent researchers, not only is it real, many of the Illuminati elite are addicted to it and will stop at nothing to satisfy their depraved demand.
Strongest hallucinogenic known to fucking mankind. And the only way to get in is through a human living donor!
I got a gang of Venice Beach psychopaths stealing adrenal glands and you ain't doing a goddamn thing about it. Get off your fat fucking pension ass and go out and solve my problem. Son of a bitch.
Raised on hate.
Bam! We get hungry, we break one of them open. Huh? Hey, Mike, what are they?
Piggy banks?
Earlier this week, it was alleged that while on the set of 2003's Born Killer, Sizemore touched the genitals of the young actress playing his daughter. The girl's parents reported the incident to the police and notified production, but they ended up not pressing charges. Friday, The Hollywood Reporter uncovered the police report from back in 2003, and the details have been described by some as horrifying. In the report, the victim's mother describes incidents in which Sizemore attempted to kiss her daughter more than once during the shoot for the film. The girl also described an incident in which he placed his upturned palm underneath her bottom when she sat down next to him during a still photo session. He proceeded to touch the girl's genitals.
piggy banks.
Whether human or animal, blood sacrifice has long been part of the rituals of many cultures, and it was discovered that after consuming the fresh adrenaline-saturated blood of a terrified victim, participants would experience a type of high off of the adrenaline, which could include increased senses, hallucinations, and feelings of euphoria, sometimes assigning a supernatural causality to the effects. Eventually, the precise timing was worked out, so that the victim would be killed at the moment the maximum amount of adrenaline had been pumped into the body. This knowledge was passed down through secret societies, ancient mystery schools, and intergenerational satanic cults.
Hello. Hi, Lucy. God bless. Yeah, I know, Lucy, but you can't judge a book by its cover. Some people are just basically rotten. Anyway, the last thing in the world you want to do is call this hotel again. They'll trace the call and put you straight behind bars. No, I'm moving to the Tropicana right away. It's a different name, but I'll let you know what it is, and, I gotta get off. Well, we have this phone tap, baby. Yeah, I know, it was horrible, but it's all over now. Oh my God, there's someone at the door. There's someone at the door. Hey! Hey! Oh, I'm innocent! It was you! It was you! Well, that's that. That's the last we should be hearing from Lucy, man.
When they torture the children, it causes a physical reaction of the endomorphins in your body to just increase because of the terror and the pain. So when the Satanists drink the blood, they actually get like a chemical, a high, like a drug high from the blood of a tortured victim.
These entities are feeding off human energy. And one of the things that they do is when they're sacrificing somebody, the people with invisible light, the Satanists and the bloodlines, they'll drink the blood because when the terror reaches a certain point in the ritual, a certain adrenaline goes in the blood, which gives these people a high. I mean, sick is not the word. But on another level, an energetic level, the entities are feeding off the energy coming off of terror and fear.
Most satanic sacrifices include some consumption of the blood, and possibly even body parts. Even more disturbingly, some of these groups make a point of preferring the blood of children, believing it to be more potent. Another reason the elite drink children's blood is for its known rejuvenating effects. Why do you think some of these old Illuminati Satanists live so long?
It turns out that drinking children's blood is an anti-aging device. This is just really sick and disgusting, but it's a fact. It's a chemical fact. And if you drink adrenalized children's blood, which is to say you terrorize the child, not just with sodomy, but with torture and with other satanic ritual things, if you adrenalize the child's blood before you kill them and drink their blood, this is a doubly effective anti-aging device. You can also harvest children's bone marrow. So children are being killed for their bone marrow.
Long before popular culture portrayed vampires as sexy heroes, stories of a monstrous nobility who craved human blood were very much real. Elizabeth Bathory, the notorious Blood Countess, was a 17th century Hungarian noblewoman who systematically murdered numerous young servant girls, not only bathing in, but consuming their blood. According to researcher Kurt Barker, author of the book Cannibalism, Blood Drinking, and High Adept Satanism, well-organized cult members systematically abduct people, torture them to adrenalize their blood, harvest that blood, and drink it. He goes on to state that some professional harvesters acquire adrenalized blood to sell. Pop artists such as Kesha perform mock blood-drinking rituals on stage. Adrenalized blood, however, is not the end. Like other addicts seeking a stronger hit, some prefer the purest, most potent form. Enter Adrenocromo, the rumored secret Illuminati drug. Technically, it's a chemical compound produced in the human body when adrenaline oxidizes. It was first mentioned as a recreational drug obtained from a Satanist in Hunter S. Thompson's book Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Some say his account was purely fictional. However, Thompson was an expert at combining fiction with heavy doses of truth. And Thompson certainly would know. He himself has been accused of being involved in snuff film operations for the Illuminati elite.
Where'd you get this?
Never mind, it's absolutely pure.
What kind of monster client have you hooked up with this time?
Satanism freak.
I think there's only one source for this stuff. The, adrenaline gland from a living human body.
I know. The guy didn't have any cash to pay me. He offered me human blood, said it would take me higher than I'd ever been in my life. Well, I was kidding. So I told him I'd just as soon have an ounce or so of pure adrenochrome. Or maybe just a fresh adrenaline gland to chew on.
I could already feel the stuff working on me. The first wave felt like a combination of mescaline and methadone. Maybe I should take a swim, I thought.
Yes, sir. They nailed this guy for child molesting. He swore he didn't do it. Why should I fuck with children, he said. They're too small. Christ, what could I say? Even a goddamn werewolf is entitled to legal counsel. Didn't dare to turn the creep down. Might have picked up a letter opener and gone after my pineal gland. You know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Why not? Sure. We should get some of that. Just eat a big handful and see what happens.
Some of what?
Extract of pineal.
You sure that's a good idea? One whiff of that stuff will turn you into something out of a goddamn medical encyclopedia.
Pop culture has provided strong hints that this secretive drug could be a real thing. In his book A Clockwork Orange, English writer Anthony Burgess listed a substance called Adrenochrome as one of the drugs that could be added to his fictional Milk Plus.
Lucy, this looks terrific.
Well, I hope it tastes good.
Oh, wonderful.
Boy, somebody around here has bad breath.
Feldman has no idea what it's like not to be famous. He was just 3 years old in this McDonald's commercial. His roles defined the 80s. Goonies.
This was my dream, my wish.
Stand By Me.
You call my dad a loony again, and I'll kill you.
License to Drive.
The only difference between you and that greaseball is that he has a license and you don't.
But being famous so young, he says, caused serious damage to him and his friends. A lost childhood and a loss of innocence. He blames the adults, not just those looking to profit from charming children, but also some with far more sinister motives.
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally.
Vultures who Feldman says abused him and his best friend, the late child actor Corey Haim, his co-star in The Lost Boys. Feldman says the trauma of that pedophilia contributed to Haim's death.
There's one person to blame in the death of Corey Haim, and that person happens to be a Hollywood mogul. And that person needs to be exposed, but unfortunately I can't be the one to do it.
Feldman won't name names. And he admits his friend had a struggle with addiction, which he says was a mechanism to cope with his demons.
And there are people in this industry who have gotten away with it for so long that they feel they're above the law. And that's got to change. That's got to stop.
Chris Snyder says for most child stars, it's the parents that can cause more damage. And he would know, having managed with his late boss Iris Burton some of the most iconic child stars, including Feldman, River Phoenix, and Drew Barrymore.
So The Lost Boys was all about Moloch, milk.
Spill milk all over the kitchen floor and don't even bother to clean it up.
I didn't spill it, Mom.
The refrigerator door's wide open.
Missing children. That's what this film was really all about and what is really happening to these kids.
Good evening, pagans. Don't forget your goat leggings.
You have to admire their techniques in crowd control. People against goodness and normalcy. P-A-G-A-N. Pagan.
Ah, here are two who have not yet sipped the nectar of Shaitan.
A small surprise before the ceremony starts?
Why not?
You?
I had a big lunch.
I can't quite place it! It tastes like milk. Just like the sign said on the building before you obliterated it. Fresh, wholesome milk. You probably love this stuff, don't you? Vitamin D, calcium, essential for good, strong bones and healthy teeth. But that's probably all Greek to you, isn't it, Mr. Gingivitis?
Yes, it is terrible, Sarah, but it is something that's gone on. It's gone on throughout history. This is not new.
Oops.
They're eating children! Fucking children!
Oops.
They're eating children! They're just children!
And in many of these instances, in 3 precise instances, these strange stories, these fables have saved my life. Once with Devil's Backbone, once with Pan's Labyrinth, and now with Shape of Water. Because as directors, these things are not just entries in a filmography. We have made a deal with a particularly inefficient devil.
Oscar award-winning filmmaker Guillermo del Toro describes his relationship with monsters. He says, quote, "They're my saints," unquote. In many interviews, del Toro explains his love and dedication to what he calls monsters. He says the creatures in his films are religious iconography. He goes on to say, quote, "The only prayer you can give to monsters is the creation of more monsters, so my labor is evangelical," unquote. All this is coming from a man who says his mother is a white witch who had to perform a cleansing on a haunted clock in del Toro's home. The Pan's Labyrinth director says he had several run-ins with ghosts, and when he was a boy, he had an encounter with a UFO that emanated fear. He describes this as the most horrifying moment of his life. Many of the minds behind the entertainment we bring into our homes are under demonic influence.
Maybe it was a pervert or deformed kid or
A
something.
deformed kid.
Maybe an elf or a leprechaun.
It was nothing like that, penis breath!
Elliot! Sit down.
And welcome to the Ping Pong Pizza Matrix. So here we have the iconic scene from E.T., the extraterrestrial, that seems to include all of the elements of Pizzagate. We have pizza, ping pong, crescent moons and stars, and a reptilian demon, E.T., whose phallic finger glows when excited. Now, very few people are aware of exactly how demonic this film is. So let's break down these elements one by one. What do they mean? Well, we all remember the scene where Elliot had connected with E.T. through trauma and was now tethered to him for life. Elliot was mind controlled by E.T. while dissecting frogs for a science class. Now this suggests that an act took place between the two. And we see that on display with basically the blood ritual of Elliot cutting his finger on this saw blade and then E.T. healing it. Now the inference with the phallic finger is signifying that some kind of abuse took place. Of course it didn't happen on camera, but that is the inference. And the frogs represent the demons loosed during the blood ritual of trauma. And all of these elements are included in the E.T. film for those with eyes to see. Now, on to the pizza. What does that represent? Pizza has long represented CP, cheese pizza, or child poonorn, we're going to call it, because we can't say the real name, fear of this video being censored. And this has long been understood on the dark web. This isn't anything new. This was long before Pizzagate ever existed. So, the final element is ping pong. What does that mean? Well, once again, has always been known as a sexual act. But it also represents the panspermia myth of how the universe was populated. In a book called The Cosmic Serpent, which is referenced in a short film called Chapel Perilous, which was produced by the owner of Comet Ping Pong, James Alefantis, it states that universe seeding was said to happen as a result of comets ping-ponging across the universe. So, a ping pong ball is really a comet, which is really a serpent seed, without being too graphic. In the book, it's postulated that this is how reptilians seeded the universe. So you see, there's much, much more to this tiny pizza parlor than meets the eye. Take care and be safe, you guys.
Hey,